and thank you so much for tuning in to the House of Chidi. And I've got, you already know, Dr. Avery in the house. And myself, of course, Sophia de Lamore, of the Lamore Consultant, and that guy over there. No, I'm just teasing. Our main man, Chidi, the only man that knows how to deal with us ladies. So trust me.
I beg to differ on that.
So today we've got something that's very relatable, and I think a lot of people can actually resonate with this topic: emotional mastery in relationships. And I know, Chidi, you said emotional control.
Yeah.
Right? But you have to master it in order to be able to control it.
That's true.
And you have to regulate it in order to be able to do any of that. Yeah.
There you go. That's the control is the regulation, because that's you have mastered it. Now you know how to regulate it.
That's true.
So, what is the role that emotions play in a relationship? Let's start there.
Emotion is a wonderful tool.
Amen.
Is one of the best gifts I think God has given to each and every one of us. Our emotions, but we have to use them positively. We have to channel our emotions to work for us and not against us. And because everybody, I hear people say women are more emotional than men. Okay, but men are emotional too.
Facts.
Because everybody is blessed with emotion.
I think Dr. Ibi and I have something different to say about that.
Okay.
But go ahead.
Okay.
That's the first time I've ever agreed with him,
Yeah.
actually.
No,
Men have
everybody's
emotions,
blessed
okay.
with emotions, right?
No, facts.
And but what we fail to understand is that our brain is wired for survival. So what we fail to understand is that people around us and the world we live in, they are all tests. They're going to test us
True.
every day, every minute, every hour. So we are not ready for that. We have not imagined that. We have not thought about that. We don't even understand that
I'll
everybody,
say some people.
that everybody is a test. I'm a test to you. You're a test to me. So when it comes to relationship, your husband is not just your husband. He's a test to you. Your wife is not just a wife. She's a test to you. What test are we talking about? To know about your emotional maturity,
Yourself
your
first.
emotional intelligence, because we're talking about emotions right here. So, so everybody will test you, and the world
Life
will
will
test
test you, yes.
That's what I want to say about emotion.
So, what role do you think? Give me a scale, like from a scale to from 1 to 10. What role do you think? How in deep is emotions when it comes to a relationship? From your opinion, 1 to 10. How intense is emotions when it comes to relationship?
Like how significant?
How
Like the role
significant?
they-
How how significant is your emotional health when it comes to a relationship on a scale from 1 to 10?
If you ask me on a scale 1 to 10, is 8.
8. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, reasonably fair. What about you? What would you say?
1,000. I think emotions, first of all, are signals, right? So if you're angry, clearly something is off. If you're happy, you see like, oh, beautiful things are happening. So they're signals. And in relationships, those are that's a big make or break there. People do not know how to regulate their emotions because people act in very interesting ways when they are triggered sometimes. So I would say it's at least the 10 in
agree.
driving a lot of people's decisions.
I would say emotions is a 10 as well, because it's like the light in the relationship. It shines on everything that's going on. Like you said, signals. Is it red light? Is it green light? Is it yellow light? At this point, they're trying to add a white light. So it's going to be a lot of lights. We have to have 4 lights. That's the news. So
But EBS said something. She said emotions are signals, right?
yeah.
So elaborate on that when you say they are signals. What do you
It's an internal signal to let you know either like sometimes if you're in danger, let's say you're feeling something is off, you're in danger. That's a good signal to have to let you know you need to get out of there. So just in general, there's signals for us as humans, but in relationships, there are even signals for when you're triggered, for when things are going well, for when things are not going well. And emotions lead to how we act. Your thoughts affect your feelings, which affect your behaviors. So if you don't know how to regulate your emotions, your actions are going to...
So, question for you. So, would you say if you don't know how to first regulate your thought process, then you're always going to have an emotional battle? Would you agree with that statement? Because she's like, your thoughts now, it triggers your feelings, and then the feelings now trigger your actions. So I think thought is one of the, which I'm glad she said that, because that's my whole thing. I think before you can regulate your emotions, your brain has to know how to think things through. Because if you see something and then you just get angry without asking questions, you're never going to be stable emotionally. It's just not going to happen. But if you see something, you don't just react, you ask questions to get better understanding. And then you make a decision that, okay, this is what it is. You're going to have your emotions more in check. And I've talked about emotions, but not in depth like this, more about being in control mentally. Because my whole thing is mental development. If you learn how to understand yourself, then you would absolutely not betray yourself. So you're not going to deal with others in a way that you're always causing yourself harm. As for me, if someone offends me, I'm rarely ever triggered. It's more like, okay, what happened here? Why did they do that? What's going on? I want answers. I don't get angry. It feels uncomfortable. I don't like it. But instead of me to start, being vengeful and say, oh, okay, oh, you want to play games, watch this, I'm like, hey, you did this thing. It made me feel like this. What's going on? And if they're like, well, I don't know what you're talking about. I just told you what I'm talking about. And then when they seem to be arrogant about it, then my emotions come out like, oh, really? Now I'm going to cut you off. Now I'm angry because you don't care how you treat people. Then now you see it, an emotional reaction, which is like, now I'm upset that you think you can disrespect me. But you know what? I respect myself too much to not go haywire and go pull out. Sure.
What's the wildest thing you've ever done in an emotional reaction?
No, we are coming to that one.
Because she...
That's a very interesting question. I was thinking about that earlier.
That question, we are coming to that. Because that, I know that's very important.
But it's so interesting though.
Yeah, but
ever since I was 19.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want you to think about it. Don't think about it right now. Don't talk about it right now. We're going to talk about our experiences when it comes to emotional outburst and emotional, whatever. So, but my point is, because I'm trying to understand something, while we are talking about emotion, I'm learning, how to be in control of my emotion.
That's good.
Now, EBA said something that is very, to me is very important. She said it's a signal, and I believe that. So if our emotions are signals, it means that we are not our emotions. Mm-hmm. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If emotions are signals, it means that we are separate from our emotions.
Yeah, you can actually control it.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like we can... when the signal comes, I'm sad, I'm angry, I want to react, something triggered me. I have to pause. This is a signal. This is not who I am. It's a signal. So I have to pause, and that's where, like what you said about asking questions.
Better understand it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where is this coming from? Mm-hmm. What is going on? Why am I worried? Why am I bothered? Why am I angry? Why am I sad? Like, what is going on? If you can exercise those few moments or pause for I tell people, 10 seconds. If you can count it, you can count it. 10 good seconds. Don't react. Don't even respond. Just be calm, 10 good seconds, and ask yourself those questions. That's where the signal comes in. Because a lot of people think that they are their emotions. We are separate from our emotions.
Absolutely.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So we have feelings that trigger the emotion, but we are not our emotions.
But the feelings come from someone, like she just classified it, and that's the perfect way to actually put it. Signals. When you see a green light, you know to go.
Exactly.
When you see a red light, you know to stop. You're not just going to drive blindly because you know that there are signals there to help you guide your movement. The same thing. When you see anger, you pause and say, and it comes back to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When you know yourself and you respect yourself, there's certain things you can't do because it takes away from your authentic essence. Like, I would never go and start fighting in the streets. You would never catch me doing that. I would drag you, but I'm not gonna I won't fight you because it's just, I think of myself as, it's just beneath me to do that. Now, if someone came at me, oh, you're going to get a beat down, that's for sure, free of charge. But I'm never going to instigate a fight. I want to talk about it. I want to know what's going on. But if you come at me reckless, best believe I would react to that, because sometimes you just have to teach a good lesson or two.
But that's why it's good also to put the onus on yourself. I like to tell people, you can't say, you made me mad.
Yes.
You hurt my feelings.
Yes.
It's more so, I was hurt as a result of this action.
Thank you.
Because constantly putting it on someone else, they can't control your feelings.
Thank you.
They can't make you angry. You're
Yeah.
angry as a result of something they did, sure. But they cannot, people put the onus on other people so much that now they're reflecting things out and they're angry at everyone else and not realizing they can control their internal emotions.
Brings me to the conversation we had about abuse. When people abuse someone, oh, you make me do this to you. No, I didn't. This is just who you are. This is how you behave. You do this because it serves you in some way or another. So, like you said, no one can make you do anything if you are in control of self. And it starts with you being self-aware and being in control of self. I have another question, because I think we wanted to address this as well. Like, what are those things that create triggers, emotional triggers? Because I think we all have them from something, right? What are a few of those things that you would say brings about? Because sometimes people have triggers and don't even know they have triggers.
That's so true. I'm an attachment-based therapist, so I take everything back to childhood, your relationship with your parents. So sometimes they always say, like, you end up marrying your mom or your dad.
Yeah.
So it's in relationships, like, you're triggered by something that's happening now, but it's actually something that happened 25 years ago, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
It's actually
Or maybe just
something
through life.
reflective, or through life, yeah.
Yeah.
I like to take it all the way back, because sometimes it's something, if you're not feeling heard, it's not really in this moment here. You're attributing it to something from when you were like 5 years old, and you're seeing it reflected in your partner. So I would say triggers are often
From
the
life
past,
experience.
from life,
Yeah,
throughout life
I
as well.
totally agree. See, she's an attachment-based therapist. I'm more of the mental development-based,
Yeah.
counselor and advisor. So I always say, have you had an experience that reflected this kind of emotion? Because sometimes it could be something through your last relationship. You were betrayed, right?
Yeah.
Probably doesn't have anything to do with your childhood, but you've been betrayed, you've been taken advantage of, you've poured your heart out and it's been stopped on, right? So you get into your new relationship and he or she does one thing that closely resembles or just slightly resembles what the last partner does. And all of a sudden, oh, so you're going to play me like the last guy. You're going to do this. Now you start doing the spiral dance and assuming, things that may never really happen. Because what? You were triggered by your past relationship or by a betrayal or by something that you experienced or whatnot. And I think that healing is a very important part of life. You have got to heal from things. You have got to embrace everything that is hard as a challenge for you to be better for it.
As a test.
No, like seriously.
Yeah.
I've lived my life like that, because when something is difficult for me, I say, okay, what am I learning in this moment? What can I take from here? Because I feel like you self-discover during your challenges. Challenge actually bends you, shapes you into a new discovery about what you're capable of. I've been through 25 years of challenges that I can tell you for free. It's molded me. So my mental strength is unmatched, because people don't get to my mind unless I allow them to. I have to give you permission to get in. Because you could say whatever. I'm like, I'm listening. I take it in. I try to implement. It doesn't make sense. I'm going to toss it out like rubbish, like it's going to the bin. It's not something I'm going to try to say, oh, maybe, or, it's not going to affect me, because I know who I am. I'm mentally aware of my mindset. So I think that's part of our homework as people, our assignment. What is your mindset built off of? Is it built off of hurt? Is it built off of dysfunction from your childhood? because a lot of people carry on into adulthood from dysfunction from the childhood. Their mindset is built around that, and they don't know how to get out.
And I think
that's when they go talk to
I think
Dr.
another
Evie.
thing is, Evie said something about domestication, right? The way you were raised by your parents and stuff like that. All the things, all the negative things you must have been through.
Positive too. Positive.
Positive things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give it a balance.
Growing up. And another thing is when you have strong attachment to your belief, that could cause trigger too. You know what I'm saying? To your belief, I'm not talking about religion.
Belief system, as
Belief
in
system, like
your mindset?
Your mindset. You know, what you think about relationship and how you think, you know, you should navigate the relationship and things should be done. When you are strongly attached to those kind of belief, now it obscures you from seeing the other perspective from your partner's point of view. You know, you want things to be done your own way because that is your belief. You are so much attached to your belief because some people get into a relationship, they think that you have to buy me flowers, right? And they have that belief.
Yeah, we go with that.
They have that belief.
No, I agree.
Or we should go on vacation like once in 6 months. They are so much attached to that belief. Yeah, if you are not coming up to that expectation, that's another problem, right? So when people are so much attached to their belief and they don't want to, you know, share your perspective or understand what you're going through or how you see things. They don't want to listen to you. They don't want to understand how you see this thing. Now it's kind of causes that trigger.
That's a beautiful trait to have. I think two of the most beautiful traits I would like in a relationship: emotional regulation and being open to other perspectives.
Yeah.
I think that's huge and it's beautiful to have.
But to that point, I think the lack of compromise, it's back to mental maturity. Because as a mature adult, you know that life does not revolve around your way of seeing it.
But Sophia, let me tell you, sorry to cut you short, let me tell you, emotional control or mastery, let me tell you, this is a very big job.
Clearly.
It's more than 9 to 5.
Clearly.
Let's not pretend about it because
It is 24/7.
Every second.
24/7.
You have these oceans of thoughts. You have these things going on in your mind, different things going on in your mind. Even when people did not provoke you, even when people did not trigger you, you still have things going on in your mind.
From past experiences.
It is a huge thing, this emotional control. But just like Ibia said, I love that part. They are signals. You know, you have to train.
External
Exactly. You have to train
signals.
yourself to understand. Train yourself because it's not going to be easy and it's not easy, but you have to train yourself to understand that this is a signal. Just like Sophia said, green light, go. You know, red light, stop. And mostly the signals are red light. You know, something is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with your partner.
Since we're talking about emotional triggers, yes, but there are also beautiful emotions of empathy, compassion, love. Those are also emotions and they're good, right? When you can literally feel someone else's pain, then your emotions are healthy.
Exactly.
Because you're able to remove yourself from yourself and let someone else in.
When somebody says, Sophia, somebody says you are an idiot.
Oh my days.
Listen, like probably you are, I don't know, the settings, maybe you're in a public place and you have a little argument with somebody or some group of people and somebody insults you that way and say you're an idiot, you're a bastard, you know, he can call you any kind of name. What would be your reaction?
I'm actually laughing because I'm like, you have your opinion, you're entitled to it. I don't get angry. I really don't. I really do not because remind you, I said, I have to believe I'm an idiot to get angry.
Yeah, you have to choose. You could choose to make an agreement with that.
No, like seriously.
And you could choose to not make an agreement with that. And if you don't make an agreement with it.
Now, it will only vex me if you have discovered that I'm an idiot and I know I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Then I'll get
believe
angry.
that about yourself.
Yeah.
But people get angry because they are not an idiot. They think
no, they really are. That's why they get angry. I'm sorry. Because
or they're just simply offended because who are you to say that to me?
But think about it. Let's really put into perspective.
Okay.
If you are not an idiot,
okay,
and someone calls you an idiot, if you are not a fool, someone calls you a fool. If you're not ugly, someone calls you ugly. Why would you react to that in a way as though you're in agreement to what they've said? Now, if I know I'm ugly behind closed doors, and you call me ugly.
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm angry because you know that I'm ugly as well. Now we are going to fight because I know I'm ugly. Now you've just told the world that I'm ugly, and I believe I'm ugly. So yeah, I'm angry. But if I'm not ugly, I'm like, oh, okay.
But some people get
Like, thank
some
you.
people get angry when you throw such insult at them because of their ego.
Their ego's ugly.
Not really that. Listen, not really because they know that they are not idiots. You know what I'm saying? Like their ego, because ego feeds on reaction.
But what is ego a thing that comes from mental maturity? No. So you are an idiot.
Yeah.
Deep down inside, you're an idiot.
Okay.
You just it's just like no, literally. No, think about it. You're only angry because deep down inside somewhere you know that you're off. And that may look like, yeah, idiot behavior. Like honestly. Because if you are not an idiot, you're not going to react to it.
But then it also depends on who it's coming from. Because sometimes
If
if,
it comes-
it's a stranger in the street, who
cares?
cares?
Okay, what about your
but if
husband?
it's someone who cares,
What about your
about-
husband?
Yeah,
What
that's
about your
right.
that
husband?
hits a little bit.
No,
different.
that hits different because that's someone that the attachment is different, right? From them, you want them to kind of reflect what you believe about yourself. Because it comes back to that. If they say that, you believe 100% of what your partner tells you versus what your family members will tell you. Like if your partner told you were beautiful, you would literally believe that 100%. Like you will feel so beautiful and confident in everything. But if they told you were ugly and you've never heard that before, identify it with you, now you believe it because they said it. Why? Because you are that close to them. You are that attached to them. You're that connected to them.
And then even if you don't believe it, it's like, this is what you think of me?
Yeah.
I'm in relationship with you and
That's what you think of me.
Like,
so
that's-
it's triggering. No.
Yeah, it's really,
Now that's triggering. Now, if a partner told me I was an idiot,
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
I think I'm gonna love you less at this point.
I got some questions.
No, eBay. No.
I got some questions.
like, wait a
eBay, what are
minute.
you gonna do?
Like, what are we basing this on? Come on, bring out the facts. I'm taking notes. What are we basing this on? Because I need to understand where that's coming
No,
from.
let me give you a scenario, right? You just having conversation, you've called him out on something, right? And he's like, man, you're just a effing idiot.
Okay, and then I'm going to take that from the perspective of, okay, I triggered you, so now you're
Yeah.
coming back at me with harsh things. You don't
Yeah.
mean that.
Yeah.
Because I triggered you, you're upset.
You're trying to hurt my feelings.
You're trying to hurt
No,
my
but they
feelings.
said out of the abundance of the heart, the man speaks.
But true.
Okay, sure.
But you're angry and your heart is really
So
angry.
whatever anybody says to you, they have been thinking about it.
Not necessarily. I have something to
Unconsciously,
counter.
unconsciously.
No.
'Cause
But
where would
see,
it come from?
no.
Unconsciously.
But see, this is the thing, right? I could just want to hurt you, and I do something that I know hurts because I've been hurt by that thing, and I would say it to you because when I was a child, maybe that's how my parents spoke to me, and it hurt my feelings. So I know that ground familiarly, ground as it that hurts. So now I project that onto you. I do the same things that was done to me to cause hurt because I'm trying to hurt you. So it's not like I've been thinking about it in my mind, you're a bloody idiot or anything like that, It's just, I heard that growing up and it used to make me feel bad. Now I want to make you feel bad. And that's a familiar place that I will go to
Now
to bring it to you.
Okay, let me bring it back again. If your husband call you an idiot, tell me in all honesty, you having disagreement with him, you having whatever with him, Now emotions are flaying, right? And he calls you an idiot. What are you gonna do?
So let me just visualize this for a second. How am I an idiot? That's what I would ask. Like, how am I an idiot?
That's what I'm saying. I need
No,
facts.
yeah, that's
I
what I'm
need
gonna. No,
facts.
seriously.
Let's break this
I kid
down.
you not. I would ask, how am I an idiot? What did I do for me to, be an idiot? Explain. No, I'm dead serious. Like, I'm not gonna like it. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm gonna be smiling like, oh, thank you. No, I'm gonna be like, why would you call me that? Like, what did I do to be an idiot? Explain where that's coming from. And then if you cannot explain it, then I know it's just something that you said to hurt my feelings. Because I also know I'm not an idiot. Now, I may do something that is, it's foolish or whatnot. If you tell me, well, you're an idiot because you did this and did that, oh, damn, yeah, I'm kind of an idiot, Because if you can tell me something I don't know about myself, I'm willing to listen and learn. Because I know I don't know everything. I know that life is a classroom, an ongoing classroom till you die. You've got to learn. And your partner is supposed to be your mirror. supposed to be when it's healthy,
Which
right?
is why you become emotionally regulated so you can attract people who also are. 'Cause
Amen.
There are relationships I've seen where they've never yelled at each other, called each other out of names. I'll say mine specifically. We've never yelled at each other. We've never called each other out of our names.
I don't even
Like,
think
we
you can
just-
yell.
Well, yeah, and he's the same way. So we don't yell, but it's just like you can have someone who's emotionally regulated and it'll never get to a point of calling each other an idiot. Like I can't even imagine.
Yeah, I've had
saying that to
arguments
somebody,
in a
yeah.
relationship, but I've never. Let me see. Let me take that back. Let me see. I'm thinking. I would say something like that was really stupid to do or to say.
But
I've said that.
Why I'm asking this question is because now you are very much convinced that you are not an idiot. You are smart,
Clearly.
And he says that to you because he's very close to you. That's why you are being triggered right now, because he is very close to you. I mean, your husband or your boyfriend, right? Now, can't you have that same mindset? That same mindset, knowing that you are not an idiot, and when he calls you an idiot, just keep mute. Don't say anything. Keep quiet. Just pause.
As in-
because you know.
Nah.
Hold on, deep down. No, hold on, deep down. You know you are not an idiot. Why not either walk away or be silent?
Yeah.
I know I'm
No.
not an idiot, but you saying that is a problem.
Yeah.
It means there's a problem here that we need to address.
Yeah.
Maybe not right now, but
Why
we're gonna
is
address
it okay?
it.
Why is it a problem?
Because how can you think that about the person you've chosen to be with? That they're
That's
an
what I'm
idiot?
saying. But it doesn't matter, because now what I'm saying is you are not an idiot.
Yeah,
so why
I don't
are
believe
you,
it. But
Amy,
if you think that and we're in partnership together, there's a problem.
Avery, you know where Chidi's going with this.
I know where he's going, which is why I'm not going there too.
If you call me an idiot, you must be an idiot trying to be with an idiot. So at this point, I do not respect
we will come to that.
anything
we
you're
will come to
talking.
that. You said something about our partners are supposed to be our mirror.
Yeah.
People around you are supposed to be your mirror. The world
And
is our
your
mirror
family.
too. The world
People
we
that
live
know
in
you,
is
yes.
our mirror. The way you see the world is the way you are. The way I see you is the way I am. So the way you see your partner is definitely the way you are.
But-
if your partner call you an idiot, he's an idiot.
That times
Now-
two.
Exactly. But now, my point is, you are not an idiot. Why not just neglect?
Let me
Why
answer that
not
question.
Just
Because it's like when someone gives you false information, do you just walk away? You're like, no, I have to address
My
this.
bigger picture is the relationship. We cannot continue on.
Yeah,
if that's
yeah.
what you think
Yeah.
of me. So we have to talk
That's
about
what
it
I'm saying.
at some point.
You have
but
given-
you don't have to talk about that stuff on the spot. That
Oh
you're
yeah,
having
maybe
that-
not on the spot, but we're
No,
talking
yeah,
about
we talk about it.
emphasis
We're
on
talking
no.
about it.
Emphasis on maybe not. But it needs to be addressed, and I think
But not
you
right
said
there.
it now.
Not right
I'm
there.
willing to address it now. But if you are not able to comprehend what I'm saying, I would let it simmer down and bring it up when things have simmered down. But I'm not walking away from foolishness, like unless I don't have anything to do with you after the
So are
fact.
you trying to say that that's emotional regulation if you're able to walk away from it?
There is a way you walk away becomes disrespectful, right? And there is a way you walk away. Now it becomes respectful.
Explain.
Hold on. Now, if he calls you an idiot, and you walk away gracefully, knowing that you are not an idiot, we will talk about this.
How
later.
would he know what you know?
Hold on. No, we're talking about you. We're not talking about him.
Oh, okay.
Your response. I'm not talking about reaction. I don't want you to react to what he said towards you or what he said to you. You know what I'm saying? He called you an idiot. Okay, now you walk away, knowing fully well that you are not an idiot. Because if you are an idiot, you'll be triggered.
But I would still address it.
just like you said before, if you're an idiot, you'll be triggered, right?
Yeah.
But now you're not triggered.
But isn't
No,
that
no,
rude?
I would still say something in the moment. I'm like, okay, I know you're triggered, so we probably both need to take some space. Because
Yeah.
there's the only reason you'd be saying that to me is because you're triggered.
You
about
can't just
something.
walk
Yeah,
away.
yeah,
So I'll just
exactly.
say, I know you're triggered right now. We're just gonna take some space.
They walk away.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm talking about. That's the walking away I'm talking about.
But
You know?
But I'm still gonna say something.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, yeah,
Like,
you're gonna say
okay,
something, but
like,
you know that.
Oh, really? Okay, but you know what? It looks like you're angry right now. We can't have this conversation.
Exactly.
We're gonna get back to it.
Exactly,
No,
that's
but there's gonna be. Oh, really? That's how you feel? Okay, you're gonna get that.
You're like,
you-
oh, that's interesting.
like you
We'll
just
come back
can't.
to that.
Yeah, you just can't walk away and not say, "Wait a minute, are you serious right now? Like, where's that coming from?" Right? Because it's not. First of all, it's not accurate information. That's number one. And number two, for you to say that to someone you claim you love, Something is clearly wrong with you. And then now you're just showing that you're an idiot times two. Because if
Yeah.
you think I'm an idiot, you have to be an idiot for trying to be with an idiot or for loving an idiot. Now, we need to know, where's that coming from? What's going on? And like she said, we probably cannot address that on the spot.
Yeah.
That's a sit me down. I think we need to have a conversation. I would like to talk to you later on tonight if you don't mind. They're like, wait, what? Like, what's going
need to
on?
cool
What-
down. Yeah,
and
we
they
just
like,
both
talk
need
to
to
me
cool
now.
down.
Oh, no. I think later on when we are both, simmer down and after dinner, maybe we'll talk about it. Because, when you tell a guy, I would like to have a conversation with you
they
later
get all
on, it's
freaked
like,
out.
why?
Yeah.
Wait, what's going
But-
on?
but
Let's talk about it right now.
But I think it's not as easy as we are talking
It's,
about it.
but that's the
because-
thing.
But it can be if you create that culture in your relationship where from the beginning, certain things are off the table and certain things are on the table, you can make it happen. And you hold each other accountable, you can make it happen.
I'm glad she said you can, right? But then you have to understand the culture of the relationship as well. Because if that's never happened before, I'm going to be taken aback. Like, wait a minute, what's going on here? We need to talk about this. Like, what's
And
happening?
it makes it better if it's never happened before.
No,
For
like,
me personally,
yeah,
if
but
it's never happened before, I
if
can
it's
see
a
it as
repetitive
mistake.
thing where you're a dumbass. You're so dumb. And then later on you apologize for calling me dumb and you say you love me and you were just upset. And you do it again another time. You a stupid mother.
That's a problem, yeah.
Like at this point, something is wrong with you emotionally. You need to go fix that because clearly your apologies don't hold any weight. That's number one. You're not able to regulate yourself emotionally when things are heavy on you. You don't know how to walk away when you feel that emotional, I guess that emotional weight. Because then you start spewing things that are offensive, daggers that you can't take back. Now I'm going to look at you sideways. Because if you think I'm dumb, stupid, idiot, whatever it is, right? It's going to be hard for me to just fully love you the same after you behave that way, especially if you've done it more than once. So now I'm looking at you like, you're fake when you tell me you love me. You're fake when you're trying to be nice because you really don't think that of me when you say those things. So something is, this love is not real. That's honestly what my mind will literally drive to, because if you're doing something so negative, offensive, because you're triggered, then this love, the moments where you're nice and everything, I don't know if it's authentic enough.
That's why you have to catch it early on.
Yeah.
In the dating stage. Like if
Thank
you
you.
as soon as you see certain things, these are things that need to be tackled
Thank you.
earlier on.
I've always said Americans date wrong anyways.
Okay. But, sometimes the dating stage could be wonderful.
It doesn't show all the things.
It doesn't show. all
Okay,
the
first
things.
year of marriage. How about that? You got to tackle it at some point. At some point, when you see the behavior first happen, you don't just push it aside. You don't sweep it under the rug. You deal with it. Do we need to go talk to somebody? Do we need to seek therapy? Do we need to figure out how we're never going to talk to each other like that ever again? Tackle it as soon as it happens the first time.
I have a question for Chidi though.
Okay.
What describe the dating phase to me? Because when I think about dating, I think about you're close to this person, you're having all kinds of conversations, you're having all kinds of interactions, and you notice when you say something about them that they do not like, how do they take it? How do they respond? Those moments would arise when you dated. Now, unless the reason why I always say Americans date wrong is because they date you in the relationship. They don't get to know you before deciding to date you. They get to know you in the relationship while they're dating you, and then they realize after they've spent 6 months they don't even like you, but you've been dating and been intimate, so there's already a different dynamic there. But if I'm getting to know you, we're just keeping it platonic, right? No intimacy yet, whatnot. And then we're talking, we like each other, and we're trying to build a relationship. And then you probably put on an outfit, I'm like, babe, I don't really like that. You don't really look good to me in that. And then you get offended. I already know that there's something that's going on with your mental
People
state of
overlook
maturity.
that stuff.
But no.
overlook
But that's the
that
thing.
stuff.
But
Yeah.
you're gonna see. Well, especially
that's a
because
problem
we
that they
we are
overlook it.
aware, right?
Yeah.
Because you will see a reaction, or the response will be, "Well, I don't care what you think. I like it."
Yeah.
That's already telling me something because I'm aware, right? Like if you said that to a regular person, maybe they wouldn't pick up on that. But because we're psychologically aware, we know that is a telltale sign about your behavior. Like if I said that, you're like, oh, what don't you like about it? Well, the shirt doesn't go with the pants, the shoes look like da, da, da. I explain to you like, oh, you know what? Okay, I'll change it. Now it's like, okay, you do value my opinion. and you do value how I see you. That's what that tells me. But if I tell you something and you are trying to be with me, meaning I have to be the one to love you, and I'm telling you, I don't like this thing you did or said or the way you're dressed, and you're like, well, I don't care what you think, that's your opinion. We're never going to go anywhere far. Because when I see things in you that you don't see in yourself, and I try to bring it to your attention, you will be defensive, dismissive, and we'll never be able to connect. Because you're not giving me room to feel like I can be your mirror. I can open up to you and tell you, because I have to love you, sir. I have to see you desirable, appealing. You know, you want me to submit to you at some point in life, right? You have to lead, and I have to trust your leadership. And when I see things, and that's why, you know, even from the biblical, dynamic, listen to your wife, because he who finds a wife finds a good thing, right? Because
Does it say that in the book?
It does.
Listen to your wife?
No, it does. It does. It actually does say to listen to your wife, because it reverts back to the reason why your wife is a good thing for you. She's there to bring out things for, like, in the beginning, what do we say? Men are not as emotional as women. Why are women more emotional than men? We're nurturers. We add. We are multipliers. We give. We want you to succeed, thrive, elevate. Mm-hmm. That is our nature, our essence, right?
Yeah.
So we will never tell you anything that it's like having this microphone. It's supposed to carry sound. That is its job. And then you're like, 1 2 1 2, it's not giving you sound. Something is broken, right? But once you see that it's giving you sound, you trust the microphone works just fine. So when we are in our essence doing our job, don't shut us down, don't shut us out, because then you lose at the end of the day. I'm here to elevate you, to fortify you, to amplify you, to give you more of whatever you've got.
You're talking about a good wife, not just a wife, a good wife.
Well, for the most part, that's what most women do.
Because I can't listen to a foolish wife.
But true.
Why
but
did
listen,
you choose a foolish wife?
because I'm foolish.
Okay. Oh, then in that event, then you at least you know, right? But no. But see, I do, when I do this couple sessions, I realize something. Men will classify their women as troublesome, nagging, negative. But all she's really trying to do is talk to you and tell you things that could be better for both of you, and you're not listening.
Yeah, because she is not delivering.
I was going to say, women can work better on delivery.
Exactly.
That's from what I've seen. Yeah, women can work better on
delivery.
delivery
Is a thing, right? So then if the man will say, okay, I appreciate your point, but maybe your delivery needs help. I don't think that, well, some women may get triggered and like, excuse you.
I've seen it.
No, but again, it goes back to mental maturity. Knowing that you don't know everything and you're supposed to learn from others. Yeah. I'm always eager to learn, even from kids. My 5-year-old niece will tell me something and I'm eager to listen because I'm learning from her perspective. It's different from mine. I'm learning from her little brain that is evolving. She gives it to me in teaspoons, versus talking to an adult about things. So I think that it all boils down to the individual at the end of the day. Like what is your mindset? If your mindset is centered around you listen to others, you're open-minded, so you were never going to take things offensive. You would less likely take things offensive. Let me not say never, because if Amy wanted to, like, I don't like that sweater with that outfit. Why?
First of all, I would never.
No, but I'm just saying.
Comment on anybody's clothes, anybody's look.
No, if I'm close to you, I will.
But that's
I'm like,
your
girl.
opinion.
I'm like, well, that's the thing. Tell me that, right? I'll say, girl, okay, I think if you have done that, you're like, why? I'm like, because your facial structure, your boneness, I have a perspective that is not yours. And I think you would learn if you just open your mind to listening to another perspective. You don't have to agree.
That's off limits in my house. Don't comment on my outfit. Don't comment on my hair.
But you don't have to agree. You don't have to agree. But listen, at least you would learn.
The problem we have, I think 99% of the problem we have in terms of separation, divorce, broken homes and stuff like that is as a result of emotional dysregulation or emotional outburst, uncontrolled emotion, and that leads to nasty decisions, and at the end of the day it is what it is. So how do we curb this emotional disaster? How do we handle our emotions when our emotions are triggered? How do we handle it? Ibe, it comes to you. Now, give the audience one or two ways we can handle this emotional dysregulation. And especially when it comes to women. Because just like you said, women are more emotional than men.
I don't agree.
We have no.
I don't agree at all.
Hold on. We have emotion. No, what that means is
Our
it comes down to
emotions-
control. It's
Our
not like
emotions
you
are
have more emotion
heightened.
than
No,
we
no,
have
no.
more emotions.
Let me say that to Dr. Ibi. Our emotions are heightened.
That's because men don't see anger as an emotion. They get very angry. You guys
But,
are very angry.
yeah, most men did. But there's the thing. I think a lot of times we go based on what we feel because we have an intuition that men do not have. Our intuition arises feelings. That is
Exactly.
not from a trigger or anything. It's from what our spirit selves know because we have this intuition that men don't have. We know things about things that we don't even know how we know. Men don't have that gift. No, I'm dead serious. Men are also emotional. I think men are emotionally charged more than women, to be honest, because when their feelings are hurt, they're like big babies. But I strongly believe that because of our God-given gift of intuition, we feel more. We feel things in a way that men don't feel it. That's why when we are hurt, it's more devastating. A man can say, I love you, but I can mess around with another woman. It's not that I don't love you. I do love you, but I can still go hook up with her. Women cannot do that.
Yeah.
But do you see how men act after being cheated on versus women?
That's what I'm trying to say.
Men will
Big
throw a
babies,
fit.
fits. How if
And run away.
Guess what? I watched we're gonna come back to serious, but I watched that video, right? Where the girl was like, we didn't even sleep together. It was just too big. The guy got so offended, broke up with her, moved out. They didn't even have intercourse. Now, if the guy didn't have intercourse and he said, yo,
A
why
woman
you
would
tripping?
try to work through
Thank
it. Yeah.
you. The woman would say, well, yeah. He would be like, babe, don't trip. I didn't even, we didn't do anything.
This is a discussion for another day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
put
but
that on
I'm just saying how our emotions are more heightened because of our intuition. Our feelings
Yeah,
a lot
that's
is
true.
derived from intuition.
So, Dr.
Men
Ibi,
don't have that.
I want you to educate people out there on ways they can walk away from such trouble. When they are, whatever you call it, trauma is being triggered, when they are being connected due to the, whatever is going on to their past. Now, what are the ways they can handle their emotional troubles?
I would say first and foremost, practice the pause. Always take a pause. Do not go on your initial reaction. Your initial response is usually not going to be the most, productive one. So practice the pause first and then deal with yourself. Do the inner work first before bringing it to your partner. So that's when you have to maybe take a step back, go to your room, identify what are you feeling. There's a feelings wheel, emotions wheel. There's feelings apps. You can get on the app and see what am I actually feeling? And is it really because of what they said, or is there something else going on here too? Practice the pause, assess the situation before you even bring it to the other person or before you even act on it.
Yeah, when you say pause, how long do we exercise this pause?
Usually, the first initial feelings, they're not gonna last all day. Go for a run, get on the treadmill, do some push-ups, push up against the wall, do some jumping jacks, do something physical to get that energy out. Because that first feeling you feel is not gonna last forever. It's gonna feel like it's gonna last forever. Expend that energy some kind of way. And once you do that, you usually are at a more level-headed space.
Go shopping. I'm just teasing.
Go shopping.
Well, I think what she said is true. But first, to get there, you have to be aware that this
You're triggered in the
emotion
first
is a trigger, and there is actually an emotional dysfunction here. Some people don't know that's what's going on, and I think before you can get to taking a pause, when you see it coming, you have to be able to identify it as a problem. People don't think that their reactions are even problems, let alone their emotions, and when they're triggered. So I think everything boils back down to self-awareness. I think that's out there. If you can't do that, then you're going to always have a roadblock or a hindrance or something in life that's not going to propel you to your greatness. Who are you? What are you? Why are you? all those W's, give yourself the answers. Because I kid you not, I started doing a lot of self-work literally at 19. Because I was like, no, I came from an abusive home. It was not beautiful. But I knew something was wrong because I had a relationship with God very early on. And the way that my family members that I was living with would behave did not reflect what they were hearing at church. So I'm like, oh, this, but I'm not going to call names, but I'm just like, that's not right. That's not right. I'm realizing all these things very young. So it's actually leading me not to respect these adults very much, the way that I'm supposed to, because I feel like you're not trustworthy because you're putting up a front to the world. When you're around people, you're nice, but then behind closed doors, you're something else. And I see it, so it's making me not trust you very much.
Self-awareness. That's
No,
very important.
that is number one. So
Yeah.
when I started
That's very
realizing that, and she said something profound, I would date guys that needed help growing up because as a child, or as a young child, I always saw my dad needed help. He used to drink a lot, at some point of his life. So before he got baptized and became a Christian, he was a drunkard, an alcoholic. So I would always feel like, oh, well, this guy is great, but this thing, if we could just work on this thing and he fixes it, he'll be perfect. My dad was great, but if he could just get rid of that alcoholism, he'll be a great father. But he never did until I became an adult. So it was more like, now I'm trying to fix it in men because I wish I could fix my dad. Subconsciously, I never really thought about it till one day I sat down like, why am I always dating guys that need help with something? And I'm like, oh, my days. Because I self-diagnosed, so I'm not going to lie. I was my own therapist. And when I did that, I said, okay, Sophia, I need you to have a conversation with yourself like you were your own best friend. Who are you? What are you? Why are you? And I started realizing a lot of things that were...
Say that one more time. Who are you?
Why
What are you?
Yep. Why are you?
And why are you?
Who are you and what are you about? And
That's
why
deep.
are you the way that you are? Where's
That's
it
deep.
coming from?
Okay.
Because if you can't put those things into perspective, you don't even know yourself well enough to know that you have a problem.
Yes.
Because I knew I had a problem when I started like, wait a minute.
Same thing keeps happening. Same person, different body. Yeah.
Same person, different body. And it never ended well because I never really ended up liking them. I'm like, but you have a good heart. But I always went for the good heart guy because my dad had a beautiful heart, giver, loving to everybody. But that alcoholism made him not show up as a dad the way he could have, right? So I see these guys that they have trouble in life, but they have wonderful hearts. And I'm like, okay, if we can just fix this where you live. I had a guy moving with me. I bought him a car and everything. And he still ended up being I was 19. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
I was 19. And that's when I realized something was wrong. There was a pattern there. And I stopped. I said, okay, now I need to know what kind of man resonates with who I am becoming from this point, this day forward. So I think self-awareness is key to even identify triggers, emotional disconnects, emotional dysfunctions before you can even learn how to deal with them because they already exist. So what Dr. Evie said is profound. When you realize that it does exist, now this is how you can start to manage it till you get rid of it.
Now, there is another part that is very important.
What's that?
But is at the same time is very difficult for people. Now, that is where empathy, compassion, and seeing things from other people's perspective comes in. It's not easy. Like when you're having trouble with somebody, like, right? And your emotions start rising. Now, if you can be selfless enough, if you can die to yourself and ask yourself, where is this person coming from? Because he is not just mad. He is not just crazy. Something is going on. So where is this coming from? Where is he coming from? You try to understand where he's coming from, and you try to show compassion too. Wherever he's coming from, he must have been through a lot. Wherever he's coming from, he must have gone through so many things to have this kind of perspective, right? So all I'm going to do is be humble enough, be kind enough, be compassionate enough to understand him better than I understand myself. Now, what that means is don't put yourself first. Put yourself last.
Just don't date that kind of person, though.
Do you understand what I'm
need to
saying?
heal first.
Yeah. I want to understand you. You are mad right now. Why are you mad? You are saying something that, it doesn't make sense to me, right? I don't understand. And it could lead to an argument or disagreement or bitterness. But now I'm choosing to forget about me and listen to you and know where you're coming from.
Do you know how much maturity it takes to literally not... And I say that not because it's difficult, and the majority of the world does not do that, because it's almost like... let me put it this way. The way I've structured it, because I do teach a development course on that, you have to be true to yourself. If you say I'm a good person, then you have to be true to that and loyal to that. Don't betray that. Now, as a good person, are you going to listen to someone when you see that they're going through something?
Exactly.
Are you going to care why they're hurting and try to fix it or understand it so that a solution could be, driven? Or what would you do as a good person? Because I have a lot of people that tell me, oh yeah, I'm a good person. I mean, I don't really try to hurt nobody. You don't know you're hurting someone because you have told your mind that you're a good person. But then are your behaviors actually resonating with that? So I tell people to, first, before you want to go around being loyal to people, be loyal to yourself. And that's, again, goes back to self-awareness. Who are you? If you tell people you're kind, loving, caring, act accordingly. Because it's not easy to be selfless. It's not. But if you have love in your heart, and your heart is governed and driven and guided by love, it would be easier to do it when you're being authentic to yourself.
Yeah, but what you said about love is about putting other people first.
Selflessness.
Yeah,
yes.
it's about selflessness. That's the word,
Essence of love.
exactly. That's the word you can use to replace love. Real love. We are talking about real.
She always has something to say about that.
Different opinion.
No,
but
yeah,
go ahead.
I think in a general sense, though.
Yeah, we're talking
in
about
a general
no,
sense.
I mean, we have different kinds of love, right? We have the world kind of love, and we have the real spiritual kind of love.
And I always veer to that instead, because I've studied it. I've studied what love does. And when the Bible says love conquers all, it's not saying you're not going to have feelings. It's saying, even though you have those feelings, let that love guide you to not want to avenge or strike someone or hurt someone or insult someone. It's not saying that you shouldn't feel sad when you're sad. It's saying let the love come in between you trying to go shoot someone or stab someone or hurt someone because you're hurting. Hurt people, right? But because you have love, you don't want to hurt someone else, even though you're hurting. You're selfless.
So, like Dr. Ibi said, take a pause, right? How many seconds pause, walk away, and ask yourself some questions about, what's happening to me? Why am I bothered? Why am I angry? Why am I emotional? What's going on? Because emotions are signals. We are not our emotions. Emotions are there to teach us something, to let us know that something is really,
awareness.
Really
it brings
going
awareness.
On,
yes.
It's not for us to react, but it's for us to respond, positively. So now,
Supposedly.
what that means is you're talking about you. You're talking about you. But just like I said, the most important thing is when you think about your partner, why is he talking the way he's talking? Why is he yelling the way he's yelling? Why is he threatening the way he's threatening? Why is he being emotional the way he is emotional right now, or the way she is emotional right now? Now, push aside your ego, because the ego is the enemy, right? Take away the ego. Put your partner first. They might be doing or saying something wrong, but if I always tell my friends, if we know better, we will do better. Sometimes people don't know better.
I was going to say.
For real, sometimes people don't know better. That's why they act the way they do. So you have to show compassion. When you see people doing foolish things, don't be so quick to condemn them or judge them. You know why? Because at once in your life, looking back, you know that you were doing some foolish things too. But now that you are at some level, you have to show compassion and pray for them to be better, right?
Wonderful.
So now what you have to do is take yourself away. Think about your partner. Why is he angry? Why is he sad? What's going on? What is he talking about?
I think it also depends on, is this out of character or is this their character?
Yeah.
Because if it's out of character, that's something you could be more apt to do, is like, okay, this is weird. Where's this coming from? I'm going to try to understand him or her. But if it's there, this is constantly happening, at that point, there's no more understanding. You got to go.
Your partner, no matter how long
you got to go.
Listen, your partner, no matter how long you and your partner have been together,
There he goes.
you and your partner come from, different spheres
100%.
of life. Different
Yes.
domestication, different conditioning, different programming from different places.
Wonderful.
You see things differently. Now
True.
you come together, you try to understand each other. So there are bound to be times when things will go, we will have crises.
Yeah.
So what we're talking about is, how do you handle those crises? And those crises, when they come, sometimes you kind of shiver, you be surprised, like, you be shocked, like,
That's what she
what?
said.
That's
But Chidi, this is the question that I have in line with that.
Yeah.
What happens when you show the empathy and you talk to them, and then let's say they tell you what's wrong and you're like, you know what, let's work through it, or whatnot.
Okay.
And then they repeat the same behavior again.
Yeah.
After you said, when you know better, you do. No, not necessarily. People know better and choose not to do better because they prefer their familiar territory where they know the devil that is there. People, sometimes it's hard for them to get out of that to somewhere they've never been before.
Listen, let me answer that. We live in a fallen world. Listen to me. It's not easy. One time is not going to correct it. Twice is not going to correct it. You understand? Because, listen, we live in a fallen world, and every time, for a very long time, he has been reacting that way.
True.
Before you met him.
Yes.
He has that strong belief. So it's going to take some time for him to detach himself from that kind of belief.
How much time do you think it should be given? That behavior should be given?
Now, as long as that behavior is not,
Let me sit up for this.
I say before marriage.
No,
You should
wait.
be able to see
No,
these
wait,
things.
Yeah,
wait.
yeah, yeah.
I'm not
Exactly.
attaching myself to somebody.
But if
who
you
acts like
see it
that.
in marriage, because that's where Chidi's going. Like,
Yeah.
if you
Okay.
see it in
no,
marriage,
if you see it in marriage,
How
let's
much-
say you didn't see it when you were dating, and suddenly these things are coming up in marriage.
how much time
how
do you
much time?
give him to work on that behavior?
We're talking about marriage.
And it
Yeah, no,
depends
no,
on
no.
how you
No.
choose to work on it too.
Listen,
with what she was saying.
do we have domestic violence? If it leads to domestic violence, I'm walking away.
Oh, that's the first time you've ever
You just said
said
that. I couldn't
no,
believe it.
What I said
Wow.
is no, you don't understand, because the last time my postulation the last time was, don't divorce, but you can walk away.
Oh, okay, we're back to
Exactly.
Okay, never mind.
Never
Forget
mind.
it.
Okay, you
Forget
can
it.
walk away, but don't divorce.
Yeah, don't divorce.
Separate forever and never be with anybody else.
If it leads to domestic violence, stuff like that,
Leave the house, but just don't get
leave the
divorced.
house. Just walk away. Just
Just
pack
leave the
your
house.
stuff. Just go. Right.
okay.
Now, but if it's just
You're dating. You just
in marriage, we're
In
talking
marriage,
about marriage.
okay,
But
sorry.
if it's just the yelling aspect of it, or the disagreement
Go to your
and
room.
stuff like, don't go anywhere. Pray.
Pray.
Let's pray and work it out.
Okay.
Pray.
I think every relationship should have
Give him time.
How much time is
Give
the
him
question?
time.
How much time?
Listen,
5 years?
Give him all the time he needs.
No.
But I won't be
But
there for that.
If he becomes
No.
abusive,
I won't be there for that.
No, listen. But if he becomes abusive,
That's abuse. That's abuse.
no,
that's
I
emotional
understand.
abuse.
You know the abuse that I'm talking about. We have different kinds of abuse, right? Now, but what I'm trying to say is this. I don't want us to go back to.
No, but we have to.
Hold on. I don't want us to go back to vow and stuff like that, because you know, like I know, and we know strongly that when it comes to marriage, you have to, when you say in good health and in bad health, in rich and in poor, that vow means a lot.
True, but the covenant only is activated when you consummate the marriage. Let's make that clear. So at this point, maybe I will say, don't consummate the marriage. Because hold on,
no,
it's
it
not
has
the
nothing
vow.
to do
No,
with
it
consummation.
does. If you no,
The
it
vow
does.
is the most important thing.
No,
not the
it's the
consummation.
consummation. That's what forms the
But
covenant.
either way, the vow doesn't say abuse, threatening, violence, anger, yelling at me.
No,
it doesn't say
Chidi,
that.
Chidi, the covenant is bounded through consummation. That's why you have to
Okay,
consummate your
okay.
marriage. But listen to this, Chidi. I was asking the time frame because, right, psychologically, it takes you 90 days to rearrange either your thinking or your mindset.
Are you
90.
going to be able to wait for 90 days?
No,
for
but
changes?
I
I
can
see you
definitely.
actively taking the
Thank
steps.
you.
Absolutely.
I can give
It's
you
just some
90
people
days
say
and
they're-
then some.
They say they're going to change, and then
And
they
then
haven't
they
done a
repeat the
single
same
step.
behavior.
They
It's
haven't done a
easier
single
said than
step.
done,
No,
because
we have done it.
I must snap tomorrow, snap back.
That's fine. You-
tomorrow,
you have a
and
90-day
next
grace
week,
period.
And next
But
2
let me
weeks,
see, what am I seeing you do every
I-
single day? What little step are you taking every single day to,
To
show
change
that,
that.
you are changing that?
I'm going to therapy.
Well,
Okay,
I need to talk to the
but no,
Because-
therapy should give you practices to change that and stop doing it. And if you implement it after day one of therapy, you should not be repeating it the same way back to back
Or
to back. to
learning
back.
how to catch yourself. If you don't have the 3 A's, accountability, acknowledge what you did, and apologize. If you can't even do that, that's step one.
Apologize. Is that important?
Yes.
It's
apologize.
important if it
comes
you-
with a follow-up
for
of an
po-
action,
Yeah, I
of
was
a
about to say
change.
because I've gotten. He always says he's sorry for doing
It
it
needs to
and
come
does
with
it
the
again.
other things.
Yeah,
And it needs to come with action as well. So if I can see little steps you're taking every day, and then you catch yourself. Oh my gosh, I yelled again. I'm so sorry. I'm working. If you can't even do that,
you
the
don't
90
want it to
days
change.
becomes 30.
30
And
years.
I'm out of there. Like,
No, but honestly though, Chidi, because I think we all have a responsibility. So we're three in this room.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, everything is how much I respect myself. Because no one is perfect. We all learn every day. I may have bad behavior I don't even know about. And then one day, one of you pull me to the side and say, hey, this thing you keep doing, it's not a good look. Honestly, I would not get defensive. Why? I've taken a vow to be better for me every day. I want to be my best self. And because I don't have that partner who's looking at me every day, I have friends. And I want my friends to be able to tell
there's
me.
back to emotional maturity. Because a lot of
But
people
there-
do get very defensive.
Yeah,
if you
emotional
call them
maturity
out on
is it,
something.
and you get that we're supposed to do that as we grow. Because why would you expect to find a wonderful, beautiful wife one day and you're a douchebag to ruin her poor heart? Because that's what's going to happen. Don't laugh, Chidi. No, I'm serious. So why would you expect someone to be so good? You're not doing the work for yourself to go and meet the so good person and go ruin their life because you're just broken. Why would you do that? Why not work on yourself to be so good for a very good person as well? So both of you can be wonderful together. That mindset needs to be everyone's assignment. I want to be good for the good man or the good woman that I want to attract in my
Thank
life.
you. We end this session here.
No, Chidi.
This is the walking away. Oh, that's what he wants you to do. Regulate yourself. Walk away. Walk away.